Class 3 for the second last on the programme at Sha Tin. On our Saturday programme this week, 1,400 metres the trip here. Seb Fire heads the weight. Blinkers on for the first time. Zach Purton for Casper Found's smart leader. Want to start under his belt already this season. Irish Vega now with Dennis Yip after leaving Casper Found's. Victor Wong takes £10 off. Comfort Life beaten favourite first up. Sun Touch was third first up. That's behind Winston's Lad. Dark Knights was last on his first effort this season. He goes up in trip. We've got Green Card was behind Hank's Decision first up. Great Treasure last start winner goes up in class and down to Lady Firsts. Looking out for maybe some overweight there. Grant Van Neerkerk in the saddle from barrier 9. Green Card has been up to Chung Fire and back, but of course has that run under his belt already.
He does, and he'll be holding a forward spot, I would have thought, based on that performance where he was up on the speed. He's got barrier number 1. Sun Touch has already had the run underneath the belt and performed well, and he should be trying to get across to the front. Comfort Life led all the way in a trial prior to his debut for this season, so I'd expect him to be searching for the lead too from that awkward alley.
Comfort Life, here he is now. He's going very nicely. Interesting, Zach Purton was down to ride him when the meeting was called off, and Neil Cullen now riding on race day, but obviously Zach saw something there as well as Neil, so both the horses going nicely. Sun Touch has dropped a bit of weight coming into this race, well, a significant amount actually, and he did look a bit like he was a little bit heavy going in that first run, and it was a really good run from him, so he should improve a lot coming out of that first run. And Relentless Me's going nicely as well. It's Chad Schofield aboard. He should get a good run from barrier number 4, comes in with a light weight, and he's going nicely here for the jockey and moving well in the mornings.
All right, OK, we're going to start off with Green Card and Roundabouts, who are locked horns behind Hank's Decision. This is the General Sherman race as well, we saw a little bit earlier on. But Green Card from barrier 1 may well push on and be somewhere near the lead
I
again.
made him a horse to follow off the back of this, Andrew, and let's be honest, I think he's been a bit of a disappointing horse. Initially, he was a get back and run on type, and he looked quite progressive, but he was also inconsistent. And then John Moore sent him up to Chun Far. He's sort of freshened up mentally, and he's come back and all of a sudden been handy to the speed in his last couple. They tried it at the end of last season, he ran well. When you look at the way that race was run, he put in a really good performance to hang on to third. So I think, you know, riding him more prominently and aggressively is a good thing for him, and I'll give him a chance to improve again a little bit.
Yeah, he was definitely against the trend in that race, no doubt, and he stuck on best of the horses that are in front. It's just whether he can put 2 together in a row. He hasn't in the past. All
right, Smart Leader. This was his first of it. Was supposed to run last weekend, the meeting that was called off, but gets up from the 1,000 to the 1,400. Yep,
and his form from overseas suggests that that will be a positive. I think we actually might have spoken to Matthew Chadwick about potentially him stepping up in trip, and he suggested that it would be a positive for Smart Leader. Barrier 10's a little bit of an issue, but he's a nice horse going forward.
Yeah, I found a spot for him because I thought it was a good enough run on debut to suggest going forward, 1,400, 1,600, he's going to look like a decent performer here.
Great Treasure won first up this season, does go up in class as a result, and, well, he hasn't won in this grade previously.
He hasn't, but he's put in some really good efforts in the past in Class 3 without winning, and this was a very good effort. This was his first run for the Me Choice stable. He's won second up. You're right, Andrew, he's got to now take it to another level, but the way he has won, he won a couple last season, and he's already won one this season. Now he needs to lift the bar up into Class 3. I'm not sure he can do it, but he shows when he's right, he looks pretty decent.
Had the absolute race run to suit him in that one. They all went lickety-split in front, and all the back runners came into it. I don't think he was going to get that race run to suit in this one.
All right, OK, so he might be up against it. Seb Fire's just had one start so far to judge him on, behind Mission Tycoon in April. Blinkers go on for his return.
They do. He is a bleeder. He bled on debut. He was a horse that had 5 runs in Australia before coming to Hong Kong and didn't miss a place. This was a nice enough little trial. Zach Purton was aboard in this trial. He was also aboard in the trial that Comfort Life won, and obviously he didn't run the other week when the typhoon blew the meeting away. And now he's going to ride Seb Fire. So I wonder whether he might have been pre-committed to it. I'm going to suggest that maybe that might have been the case.
Yeah, Blinkers on, £133, barrier 13. So, look, I'm going to watch him.
All right, and this is Comfort Life, as we've spoken at, was favourites. for his last start in the back end of last season and rolled.
Yeah, and we did speak to Zach Purton about this horse going into that meeting that we lost, and he was, I thought, reasonably confident about the horse's chances, suggested it had improved in the off-season, and that trial, I think, speaks a fair bit about the situation.
Yeah, I think Neil Cullen will try and get him outside the leader, and the two leaders in this race, I think, will dominate this race, and I think he's one of them.
All right, OK. At this stage, again, it's a wide-open contest. Not the first like this, but Green Card is the favourite.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave him out. I'm going to go with Sun Touch on top. I think he's improved a lot from his debut run this season. It was a run full of merit, and he was in form at the back end of last season as well. So he's a matured horse now. So he's on top to beat Comfort Life, who will sit just outside him. Smart Leader will run on nicely. Penang Hall's got such a good fresh-up record. He's won twice fresh up before, and his track work suggests he won't be far away either, and he'll come in as a good price. So he's the one to add some value to the exotics. But 6-4-2-7, I'm going to make 6 the best of the day.
Fair enough. I was fairly keen on Comfort Life in the meeting that he didn't take part in. I'll stick with him here, even though the race is definitely structured a little bit more differently with a wider barrier on offer for him, but I think he can offset that and still be hard to beat. Green Card, Sun Touch and Smart Leader. Bank of the 4 and a trio, and I'll sneak in one other there, which of course is
Seb Fire.
Seb Fire, just in case Zach Purton has gone with the right one.
All right, Sun Touch for me. I'm with Paul. Smart Leader. I thought it was an each-way price. Irish Vega, I thought maybe an interesting run.
Yeah.
The trial wasn't too bad behind More Than Lucky.
Yeah, he was handy in his most recent trial. Zach Purton rode both of his trials too. So he's had a bit to do with a few in this.
All right, and he's a big price at the moment, nearly 30 to 1. That's race number 9. One more race to go then, race number 10, plus all the best bets. That comes up next.